Welcome back, guys. Thanks very much for joining me. So a couple of weeks back I put up the tutorial on how to make your very own Strongman Loadable Dumbbell. So I will put the link for the video up above, so have a look at that so you can make your own one of these. You don't have to go and buy an expensive piece of equipment. It's fairly straightforward to make. So today I'm going to show you how to actually do the overhead dumbbell press. So this is one of those iconic strongman moves. It's a lot of fun and I really love it. It's one of my favourite moves of the whole lot. Now you can do this with your standard dumbbells in your normal gym if you don't have the likes of this. However, keep in mind that your Strongman dumbbell will be a lot harder. It has a 2-inch diameter handle, which makes it a lot tougher to actually grip. So we're going to break this move down into two parts. We've got the clean, which is bringing it from the ground up to your shoulder, and then we've got the press, which is the press over the head. When gripping it, you're going to bring your hands as far forward on the handle as possible. So it's right up at the top rather than being in the centre. Cup the hand underneath, lock your shoulders in, so you're squeezing your shoulder blades down and back, keeping a straight back. And then it's going to be like a kettlebell swing, where you bring it in and swing it up. So again, like a kettlebell swing, bring it through the legs, drive it up. It's going to rest on your trap at the top here. You can use that supporting hand to stabilize when it gets to the top. So if you bring it up and you're a little bit off balance, use that hand, support it, and then take away it when you're ready to press. A couple of other key pointers. Make sure that elbow is directly below the dumbbell. So you don't want it back here where it's leaning onto your neck and it's trying to pull forward. You also don't want to be in this position where the elbow is forward and you're really struggling, that dumbbell is trying to pull back. So touching on those again, elbow directly under the dumbbell, supporting hand to stabilize and then work on balance, and keep it on your trap as much as possible. Now you'll see in this position why I had that hand as far forward on the handle as possible, because this is going to start digging into your wrist. Now this is how you're going to hold it in the position, so that's not a bad thing. However, a little tip for you is that you might want to use wrist wraps for this, just to protect that wrist against the metal digging in. Cerberus, these guys here, do have a great line of wrist wraps. I will put the link down below to their website, and I'll put the discount code IRISH10 so you get 10% discount off there as well. So now we're on to the second part of this move, which is the hard part, the press over the head. My supporting arm is going to be used for balance throughout the movement. And I'm going to be doing a double dip style move. It's a little bit like an Olympic pressing technique. So I'll go through it and then I'll talk you through it one step at a time. Okay, so during that move, you will have seen my arm comes out to the side and that is used to keep me balanced. I'll keep the dumbbell as high as possible and that elbow as high as possible. When I'm dipping down, I'm trying to minimize the movement of the elbow. So when I dip down, I'm trying to keep that elbow in the same position and then jump up, soften the knees and then straighten out. That dumbbell is as much along the center line of my body as I can. The more you have it out, the more that's going to start pulling you to the side. It's fine when you're doing a little bit of a lighter weight, but once you go a little bit heavier, if you are a centimeter off, it's going to pull you out of position and you're going to miss your lift. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. Again, I'll talk you through it. Keeping that elbow as high as you can, resting the dumbbell onto your trap as much as you can. Try to stop it rolling back. Then from there, you're going to dip the knees, drive up, soften the knees and straighten. And that's when we move on to the last part of this move, which is dropping it back down. You've done the move. Most people don't think about what happens afterwards, but this is an incredibly awkward piece of equipment and you need to know how to drop it properly. So we're going to bring it up to the shoulder, press it over the head, and then when you're bringing it down, you're going to turn your wrist. You can use the supporting hand to support, and you're going to bring it down. When it's hitting the pad, You want to really have a loose grip on it, because if you hold on to it really tightly, that impact is going to go up through your joints and it can cause a little bit of problems. So just a light grip on it when it's hitting the pad. Now, if this technique is causing you a little bit of problems, you can just have it over the head, bring it to the shoulder, use that supporting hand to bring it down. Again, loosen that grip as it's hitting the pad. Or you can just bring it down, straight down like this, again, supporting hand, and sort of drop it onto the pad. Be very careful when it's hitting that pad. I can't say it enough. If you have your hand in the wrong position, that force can come up, especially if it's just one finger is left trying to grip the dumbbell. It might sound a little bit weird, but sometimes there's one finger that's tighter on the dumbbell than the others, and that's a lot of pressure. It can sort of jar it, and it can sort of ruin the rest of your training. Some people overcomplicate this. Some say go to that split stance. It doesn't really work. You will not see any of the top strongmen really doing it, because it leaves you off balance, and it's just not really the right technique for it. The other thing to keep in mind, the double dipping in this exercise is perfectly fine. Double dipping, I'll throw up the video, sometimes is allowed in Viking press and sometimes isn't. All of the other events, normally it is allowed, it's not a problem. And most event organisers will say they don't care how you get up as long as it goes over the head. Make sure though that you do lock out the arm completely, because they may not give you the lift if there's a bend at the elbows. Also, when you're training this, don't focus on one side. One side will be stronger than the other. My right side is naturally stronger, as a lot of people out there, you will have a stronger side. That means you just want to work all the harder on your weaker side, because some competitions will say that you have to alternate arms. It might be for reps. So you have to go with your right hand, then you have to go with your left hand. So if you can lift a certain weight with your right, but can't lift it with your left, it's a little bit of a waste. You need to be equal strength as much as possible on both sides. And I've got one more little tip for you. When you're putting your chalk on, I prefer liquid chalk. It's a lot less messy and it is a lot better. I will do a video on it. Just make sure that you get the back of your hands and around your thumbs with the chalk as well. This is because when you grab the dumbbell, your first hand is going on, and then your second hand needs as much grip on that first hand as possible. So make sure that you do have chalk on the back of those hands as well. So, since I'm covered in chalk, might as well do a workout now. So if anybody is looking for wrist wraps or anything else, any other gear to help them with this move, I will put the link to Cerberus Strength down below. Please use that code IRISH10 and that will give you a 10% discount. So every little helps. And it is the best gear that you can find. It really is the best equipment. You'll know this from watching my videos up to now. All of my own personal gear is Cerberus. It is the best you can get. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe. It helps so much. So please hit that button and I'll see you in the next one.